let's talk a little bit about the factors that go into whiplash, right? Some things are extrinsic, or things out in the environment, right? Some things are intrinsic, or things that have a direct relationship to me, my body, my car, my position, right? So some of the extrinsic factors that go into whiplash and the severity of whiplash are going to be things like the vector of impact, right? Cars are designed to go in a forward motion, and when they're stopped and they get hit from behind, they aren't necessarily designed to absorb some of that impact, right? The vehicle mass, I think this goes back to my least favorite subject, and that is physics, right? If you have a small light car, you're getting hit by a big fast car, the impact is going to be much greater than the opposite, right? If you're driving in a small car slow, there's a big car stopped, and you just tap that car, the forces are less, so the chance of a more traumatic injury are lower. Vehicle damage, right? They talk about studies of how much vehicle damage is done can directly correlate to how long or how severe your symptoms are, which again, some of this makes sense, but these are all factors that go into when we're doing our treatment in the office. This is all asked during our intake process because we need to know what we're working with. Not everybody will suffer from whiplash for life. Not all people will get better in 1 or 2 weeks. And so we need to decide how big of a case do we have here and how long will it take you to get better. Another extrinsic thing is like restraints, right? Are we wearing a seatbelt? Are we not wearing a seatbelt? Seatbelts do stop us, but one thing it does, when we fly forward, our seatbelt then locks quickly. But what happens is because we're locked here, our head flies forward at a much faster rate. And so it's actually said, even though seatbelts are very safe, continue to wear your seatbelt, it can lead to more neck pain because of the rebound effect. And obviously road conditions, right? Is it wet? Is it dry? All this has to go into how fast are you about to move, or how fast is the object behind you moving? How fast are you both moving, right? And things like that. Then when we switch over to intrinsic, some of this goes to we can change and be prepared for when a car accident happens. And some of it is just sheer luck and physiology, all right? Head position, right? We need our head position. If we are looking straight and our headrest is properly being utilized, that's the key word, right? Most of us don't even use our headrest. And so then it becomes something we bounce back and forth off of. But if we can control the position of our headrest and where our head is in the car, there are studies that show that can control how much damage is done to a neck. Are we braking or are we not braking? This is another tough one. Should we keep our foot on the brake if we see an impact coming? And some of the science says yes, because if you let go of the brake and you get struck, you are going to accelerate at a faster rate, one. But two, oftentimes what then happens is you press down on the brake rather quickly afterwards, which will catapult you forward faster. Also, if we let go of that brake, there is a greater chance that we'll be in a secondary collision. So we hit the car in front of us, which then is doing the same motions but in reverse, right? We fling forward and then we shoot back. And so it can make things a little bit more severe. And then things like age, right? We can't control this. But it does talk about the longer lasting effect if we do have age and pre-existing kind of go hand in hand. If we have more degeneration, right? If there is arthritis in our spine and we suffer an accident, that can complicate the healing process. If we're older, our cells and tissues aren't going to heal at the same rate as somebody that is a teenager or in their young 20s. And then lastly, gender. Believe it or not, females do have a higher rate of suffering long-term neck pain after accidents than males. Accidents and headaches we should add in. So a lot of headaches come on after an accident. And so some of this we can control, a lot of it we can't control, but all of these factors go into that equation as to why you might have suffered more pain or discomfort following a whiplash injury than somebody else that you know that's been in a car accident. So don't try and compare apples to apples with your friends that have been in car accidents too. We share this again. I talked about it. This goes into the picture of treatment. When can we start care? How soon can we start? How long do we have to hold off? Do we need to get x-rays, right? And there's a process to decide when we get to start care with your whiplash case. So in one of these videos, we will be showing you some of the treatment we do. And so keep an eye out for that.